That was a really fun game. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned there. I don't know. It really just depends how you're rating heroes. And like, I think that objectively, you're rating strategies based on how viable it is to go those strategies and commit for them, right? And under that framework, Tide is kind of a bad hero. Not bad, but very, very overrated. Because, I mean, I think most comps will play a level 2 Dusa before Tide. If you want Naga, like, you always do that. And you always have access to the level 2 Dusa before the Tide. Between the option of level 2 Dusa or level 1 Tide, I think you pick level 2 Dusa. And that is literally always an option you will have, right? Because if you want the Naga, you're always going to find 3 Dusas before you find 3 Tides. Like, there's almost no exceptions to that. This is a hard start. I could actually see an argument for locking this. I think that's kind of a trolley lock. I don't really like any of these. Clockwork opens me up to some high roll potential. Like the 5-star heroes are just kind of bad. Or sorry, the five coin heroes. I think Tides, the streamer, likes the 5-star heroes. Sell onto warriors.
From the deeps, I rise.
Orcs. Trolls. Dude, fans going hardcore trolls. Trump is... Trump's such a min-maxer, dude. He doesn't even care. He's just like waiting to see what people do. Just value. Max. Orcs. Max. I mean, pretty average board, honestly, at this point in the game. Like, the problem with the 5-coin heroes, I guess I should call them legendaries, because they're like, it's rarities, right? It's like common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. What started that, by the way? Was it Hearthstone that started that? Because, like, I feel like every game just uses these... I guess, like, World of Warcraft and some MMOs did, like, similar things. Did World of Warcraft start that? But they have, like, different... They have more rarities than WoW. They have more than, like, 5. I mean, Tiny's just better than Tusk, right? It's as old as time. Did it start with magic? Really? But those exact rarities and those exact colors? So we're going warriors here. I like going warriors. I made a plan to go warriors today. This is the first game of the day that we're actually going warriors because we got kind of pigeonholed into trolls in both of the other games. Ugh. That's not good. That's not good at all. I think we just have to go for the 3 warrior buff here. And just bench the shredders in case it makes a difference, right? I don't know how to distribute items on a board like this, honestly. It's kind of weird. It's 2 orcs versus 3 warriors, basically. 3 warriors wins. How much damage did that amp damage just do there, I wonder? Hard committing, right? I just want to pump. I think I want nothing else from life than to pump. mean, when you're on a win streak, when you can just jam in 5 warriors, like what more do you require, you know? We got the 2 beasts now. Like, why play mechs when you can just play warriors, you know? Is Furion or CK better? If we find a level 2 CK, we'll actually play it. Trump has 2 quaps. Jesus. Actually kind of close, but I just didn't have anything to beat the quaps. Those quaps just messed me up. That's a shopping phase. What? Two assassins. That is quite the shopping phase, guys. Well, we're online. Sell CK and wait. No Tiny love. I think I have to unlove the Tiny there. Even if I like Tiny better as a hero than Tusk, which I honestly might. The beast synergy being there right now is nice. Okay, we're online, guys. We got everything we need. It's crazy how much can turn around in one shopping phase, isn't it? So who are we countering positioning? Fan is left. Tides is now kind of middle back. Mid. Everyone's mid, right? Lycan might just be tankier than Tusk. So we'll start stacking Slardars here. So what builds are people going? Tides looks like he's just going value orcs. We don't have any orcs here. That's the one thing. Normally, it's kind of crazy actually having no orcs to start. We're never really going to put these in, right? We're probably just gonna level here. Do the level 8 level. It's truly just nothing fancy to do here. We just have 3 warriors, 2 shadow fiends, and 2 beasts. I personally think that they should delete this thing where you can have 2 of the same demons that are both giving you fell power. I think it's kind of a neat mechanic. Like, when I first heard about it, I was like, wow, that's kind of neat. It allows you to, like, do... It's like, you know... You can kind of... Demons have this kind of weird synergy with each other of the same type. But the more I think about it, the more unhealthy it is in a lot of ways. I don't really think it matters what we take here, right? Like, we're not actually building these. Could have leveled. Dude, we got 2 Sankings. That's kind of funny. I mean, Tiny's better than Axe, right? Axe without Orc is shit. The reason why Axe is good is because he has the best tag in the game. Who's your Dota waifu? Enchantress. What can I say? Enchantress just enchants me. Oh, the toss. Oh, now my Shadow Fiend's dead.
Oh, how the deep ones will feast.
we're just finding stuff from all over the place.
Always ready for a fight.
It's kind of awkward. We haven't found anything good for a while. Just a bunch of 2-ofs. We have like actually just nothing but 2-ofs now. Trump is losing to Poke. Didn't Poke have someone like coaching him during? He had someone like on a call coaching him. That was kind of funny. Oh, we got a crown. Doesn't really do anything, but we got one. Might as well play for this interest range. I mean, we're into warriors anyway. What are we gonna do? Put a level 2 non-warrior in this build? Second warlock is honestly not bad. Warlocks are just kind of good, right? The problem with warlocks is they're not warriors.
I'm the brains.
You know?
And I'm the brawn.
This is a 3-second cooldown, so we definitely want this on starter. Because Lycan ult only actually happens once per game. But more mana for starter just means more casts. What happened there? Alchemist is nice with warrior ammo. Is he?
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
Hurry up and win already. Cheers.
We're just not completing anything. Like, how does Alchemist fit into this build? What even is the last Warlock? Because, like, I can go Necro. Going Necro and not having the Undead tag is kind of always a mistake, because Undead is actually nuts. I kind of just want to sell this Alchemist. Maybe I should be running him right now instead of, like, one of these boys. I heard his attack speed is good. 1 second attack time. And he does have like good EHP just with his health. Maybe it's insane for me not to be running Alch on my board right now. This is active, that makes him good. He does have a good active. We can get a third Warlock with Venomancer. That sounds like a delightful idea. Who's our Warrior Tribal? I mean, our Warrior Tribal and our Shadow Fiend Tribal is just unlosable, right? There's no way that Venomancer could be better than a second Shadow Fiend, is there? Is that possible? Honestly, it might be early enough for a level 1 Lone Druid to just be good. I feel like I need to have the 3 warriors though. Banner just got buffed. Is that good enough? I mean, over Shadow Fiend though? Just for the Warlock Tribal? 20% lifesteal? Dude, we're actually just getting nothing. Like, there's no way this is good enough, right? 20% lifesteal versus a Shadow Fiend? We're just finding no level 3s. Like, we literally haven't found a good shop since that first good roll we had when we found double Shadow Fiends. We haven't completed a single thing since then. Our board is literally just like where it used to be.
A wolf in man's clothing.
We found one thing. Can this make sense? In theory, we could take out the third warrior. I think the third warrior has to be better than the Shadow Fiend, though. Lone Druid. I think Lone Druid doesn't get off. Oh, we forgot to swap for dogs. That actually matters here. Because we have a weak board. Not a lot of level 2s. Man. Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. How did we demolish dogs so hard, actually? I don't even know what happened. And again, we're just finding nothing. This is a bad experience. I think we might as well just put this on the Slardar, right? I don't know. Lone Druid's really nuts if I find a second one. I think it's like literally just too strong to use. I don't know. Maybe I'm insane for not like slotting into my Lone Druid. Like when he gets bear off, he's literally bonkers value. Maybe that's just better than what Venno can do in every situation. Literally nothing. We have the losing streak, so I want to play to interest to a degree. We actually have 4 beasts on this board. That's really funny. What the hell is happening in this game? We have 4 beasts, 3 warlocks, and 3 warriors. How did this come to be? Need the Fury on in case we find the second Lone Druid. My bear is just soloing everything. Unfortunately, bear is just not good enough for this. We're gonna have to stabilize pretty soon. Dude, we actually found nothing all mid-game. That kind of sucks. Next losing streak +3. I think we can go a little deeper, right? Two level 2s on the board on round 18. It's such a bad feeling. And this build is developing in a really irregular pattern as well. Like, I'm not really sure what to do with this. My Lone Druid is probably too far away here. It's weird. You want Lone Druid to take damage, but not so much damage that he dies before getting bear off. But like, if he doesn't take any damage, then it gets bear off too late, and that feels bad too. Shadow Fiend better than like PA or Sniper right now at level 1? Yeah, Shadow Fiend's better than anything at level 1. Shadow Fiend just has insane DPS. What am I doing? Can this possibly be worth it? Is this possibly a good idea? God damn it. What is this build? Like, what are we doing, guys? Jesus. Sell tinies. But I like tinies. Don't online Veno. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. When he's level 2, I kind of want him to like get his stuff off more. But honestly, compared to like a Tusk, maybe it's not worth it. Because Tusk has like the warrior buff anyway. Bad stuff summoner builds. Yeah, it kind of feels like bad stuff. Now here's the Disruptor, right on time. I don't think we can fit Disruptor into this. I think this build is a mess. We just pump on round 20. That's probably just a mistake. It's 20, we really need the second Shadow Fiend for Furbies. So we lost, what, 2 gold interest by pumping there? It's not a huge deal. 2 gold has a hard time making a difference. For Beast. Yeah, 4 Beast is kind of a mess. Our losing streak is over. We have to play more aggressively to stay in this. Disruptor gets Orc combo now, which is better. But any warrior we take out loses our Beast combo, and Slardar has all of our items.
The Stormcrafter comes.
Disruptor should be more centralized here. Dude, what the hell is this build? I don't know what we're doing. Disruptor might not have been worth it here. The thing about Disruptor is he's very good. This guy's a level 2 bear. Oh my god. Dude, we're taking so much damage from this. He actually has a ton of units. This is literally the last one we can afford to lose. This is almost killing us. There's actually nothing in this game that feels worse than getting screwed in mid-game rolls. Like, early game rolls are neat, but they actually, like, just secretly don't matter. This dream can't be real, can it? Why did we just build tiny? We should have repositioned. So we're thinking about going lone 3. Lone 3 could kind of carry us back to where we want to be. Dude, are we actually losing to this? Holy shit. It's not killing us, so it kind of doesn't matter. We're now in one-shottable range to creeps. That's interesting. What does that change? Is that better than Disruptor? I honestly don't know that it is. Go Naga buff? Maybe we do need to here. I don't know. I'm not really committing to anything. Like, this is bad. Like, irregular builds are really bad here because I'm just not sure what direction to take this in, and I don't really have the time to think. I'm literally out of time. This Slark is killing us. Do we lose here? Dude, holy shit. How did this end so poorly? Like, we just got absolutely nothing in the mid game. We actually lost before Savjz on the same turn, too. I mean, obviously, like, we went for some kind of, like, jank tribals. We could have gotten, like, Slaughter and Tide in for the orcs. I think that would have been better. 5 shopping rounds, you got nothing. Is it really that bad to spend the 2 gold on new options? I mean, spending the gold early doesn't really do anything for me though, right? Like, it preserves health. Health is probably the weakest resource in the game. I don't know. We should have stabilized that higher, just because we're playing in a regular matchup. We didn't really have, like... I don't know. I just didn't really know what I was doing that game, honestly. Like, I'm much more comfortable with more straightforward builds. We got offered some really, really weird stuff that game. Clockwork over bounty first flop. That might have been a mistake. If you're happy with orcs and cheaper warriors, why not roll if you don't have level 2 units? Rolling is the least productive thing to do with gold. If you roll and you don't find what you're looking for, you lose the game on the spot in the early game. There might have been a point in like the early mid game where I should have rolled. So do you believe Valve will course correct on artifacts? Yeah, they'll try. I mean, they need to do something pretty major. Like, I don't know what I can do differently there. At the very end, I mean, there's minor things, of course. Like, at the very end, we could have done, like, the Naga switch. That would have been better. It probably would have won us that last game. Is the run over? This is the 3rd game out of, I believe, 4 total. With warriors, you hard reroll on 6 or 7 instead of leveling. I mean, it's not about the build, it's about how many sets of 2s you have. You lost too much HP before you started actually looking. I mean, that's not really the issue with that game, though. Like, that's not really what went wrong. What went wrong was the build path. I don't know, we literally didn't even find warriors that we could have made a 6 warrior build out of. Like, it was just impossible. We didn't find any level 2s in the mid game. That one shopping phase where we found 2 Shadow Fiends and the 3rd Slardar was really, really nice. And then we didn't find anything for the rest of the game until we died. Looking earlier could have led to a new build path. How? Rerolling can't lead to a new build path. Rerolling is just having more shopping phases. The shopping phases are the same. In the next game you finish top 4, you have a chance to stay in top 8 for the whole tournament. I think so. I don't know how the whole tournament works. It's weird. I think like top 4 and bottom 4 doesn't really matter. It just decides like There's just 2 games ongoing at every time, and those are decided by, like, who finished top 4 of both brackets versus bottom 4 in both brackets. It's just like scrambling the brackets every time. Like, I don't think finishing top 4 in the tournament really changes anything, because we're only playing 1 more lobby, right? I think this was the 3rd one out of 4 total. Dude, is this bear actually just gonna win this board? Yeah, this bear has this, right? It needs to root. Ah, it doesn't have it. Yeah, it's never gonna actually root that much. How did you place in the first one? We placed 3rd, and then 5th, and then 8th. Which is pretty bad. I mean, that's like below average. This has been very bad so far. Like, we haven't been offered very good stuff. We had a lot of opportunities to like make the best out of some kind of bad RNG, but I don't know. We got forced into a lot of builds that we're kind of unfamiliar with. Like, I don't know if building the Venomancer or the level 2 Venomancer was correct. And I'm not even sure how to like position it as an example. Feels pretty bad. Like, this tournament has a lot of like fairly bad players in it. We should be doing better. Savjz is low rolling too. Savjz is decent, right? I think he hit rook at some point. I'm looking forward to playing into more AutoChess tournaments though, because when did I start playing this game? It was like a week and a half ago, basically. And I feel like there's still just a ton for me to like learn and experiment with in terms of like other build patterns. Dog and Amaz are very consistent so far, staying in top 3. Yeah, Dog's a very good player. Swim, I was curious if homecoming is what drove you from Gwent. I was gone for 6 months. I haven't touched it. Okay. Let me explain exactly what it is. I'm kind of like... I really wish people actually understood this, because I made a video about it and everything. And I know everyone watched that video, but I also know like nobody actually listened to it. It's very, very, very simple. I just wanted to do something else. I had been playing Gwent for like 2 years at that point, and I felt like... I don't know. I felt... bored isn't the right word. I felt like stagnating. Like, I was just doing the same thing for too long in my life. I like learning new games and developing new skills. And I don't know. Like, one just felt like it wasn't really going anywhere. Jaded? Kind of. I don't know. And it's not like, when I say it felt like it wasn't going anywhere, I want you to understand, it's not that I thought the game was going in a bad area. I think I actually had very similar reasons for Mogwai, to Mogwai, which is that I just like was doing it for too long and wanted to play another game. Like, I'm sure the game was going in a good position. I actually liked Homecoming. I don't know if you guys remember when I streamed Homecoming for like the first 2 weeks. Some of you guys might. But I was actually enjoying it for the most part. It got kind of old at the end of the 2 weeks. It was like It was mostly a novelty shift. Gwen is in a pretty good state right now. Yeah, I believe it. I don't know. I think a lot of people like thought that me and Mogwai literally just jumped to Artifact because we wanted to get like views on like some kind of like money-making machine, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, to be fucking honest, if I wanted views right now, don't you think I would be streaming Gwent? I think there's a good chance like I'll do some Gwent streams in the coming future. Maybe I'll do some tomorrow. I don't know. A lot of people have been asking me to just like do a couple streams, revisit it. Like Mogwai streamed Gwent yesterday. I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed with Artifact though. I really wish they had launched the game in a better state. That being said, I mean, there's still a lot of room for them to improve it. Like, I'm not done with Artifact. Mr. Mouton. The thing about AutoChess is being a very good AutoChess player is hard because you need to understand a lot of different builds. Like, you can get to Rook by playing the same build over and over again, but to get past Rook, you need to actually be very versatile, and you need to like be extremely adaptable, not just based on the tools that you're seeing in your shop, but based on the builds that other people are going in your same game. Usually, this doesn't actually mean just not doing what other people are doing. Everyone does that, and it doesn't make sense. Usually, this means trying to actually counter what other people are doing. So let's, sorry for that little Q&A period there. We're going to actually get back into this game now. Go, Raccoon, go. Oh, no way. This doesn't happen, right? Root! Dude, if one Root actually would have won that, I think, right? That a level 3 axe? Oh, Quap 3? I don't know if I've seen a Quap 3, actually. VIP 2? He's looking... Tides is looking for an Enchantress so hard here. He needs an Enchantress to find the Druid 3. He's rolling. He's at 6 mana. So, ooh, this Black Dragon is kind of destroying this build. Both these players should have a build that beats Black Dragon though. Like Black Dragon just kind of wins against like mages and stuff like that. There's this interesting strategy in this game. Oh, actually, this is kind of magey. So there's this interesting strategy in this game, which is against creeps, you just like do quick swaps. Like if we look at Mr. Mouton's builds, he could have won that creep fight, and he probably should have. Now the question is, what does winning that creep fight look like? Well, the big Black Dragon happens on round 35. So that means between rounds like 30 and 35, honestly, doing stuff like benching a single Shadow Shaman is good. Like, if he had just benched a Shadow Shaman sometime in the last 10 rounds...
question.
Thanks, man. If he had benched a Shadow Shaman sometime in the last 10 rounds, just thinking ahead, like, he gets the instant hex with the Disruptor, and then it gets the hex with the Shadow Shaman, and then he just wins that creep fight easy, right? So, against creeps, there's this, like, interesting strategy, and this is why mage builds are harder than normal. This is part of the reason why mage builds are high skill ceiling. But against, if you have a build that can't really win creep fights, you have to do interesting things with your bench and with your swaps to be able to win a fight. Like, buy a Shadow Shaman on round 25, put it in for just this one creep fight, and then just, like, sell it if you want to. It can be a level 1 Shadow Shaman, it doesn't matter. And I really like that. Creep fights are really interesting because it kind of challenges you to kind of do different things. I honestly wish the creep fights were more distinct, because there's the dogs in 15 that make you want to flip backwards, and maybe I don't think you really change your comp, you just flip. There's the big black dragon that makes you want to go shadow shaman, or like some kind of like single target CC, you know. And there's other options like Tide and Dusa are still fine. And then there's the other creep fights, which kind of incentivize the same thing as the big black dragon, but to a less degree. Like you can still, against like lizards, for example, you can still rock like a shadow shaman. You can still rock like stuns, but it feels like they don't really challenge you to do different things. Like there should be some creeps that are like mages and try to burst you down or something. I don't know. That'd be cool. Why is Muton leaving the corner? I'm so confused. I don't know, honestly. He's spreading out. So we can look at the build here. Muton is currently winning a little bit in terms of like health percentage, which doesn't matter. He's just like mixing up his strategy, but he's doing it with 10 seconds left, which gives Tides plenty of time to actually like look at that and counter it. If you want to like switch a strategy like this, you really should be doing it at like, he should have started it like 10 seconds ago, basically. You want to like finish your movement right as the clock is ticking to 0. So level 2 Tides, it just comes down to Ravage. This Tide got crit, which means Tide's Tide is getting off, and that's a really big deal. Honestly, one of the like, oh, that's not really that close. One of the somewhat design flaws of this game is that a lot of late game fights will just come down to literally who gets their Tide off first. Like we can look at both players lost on their boards here, right? Tide's lost on his board, and I can almost guarantee you, I wasn't watching, but I can almost guarantee you on this board, this Tide got off first. Or sorry, Muton's Tide got off first. Like, so especially with 2 level 2 Tides, like it's literally just a contest of who can get their Tide off first, and I think that's kind of degenerate. Like, I think
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
It's actually probably the single
you
thing
get so much fucking hate, but keep on trucking.
I would change in this game. Yeah, I don't know why I get so much hate these days. I think there's like this tipping point, because I started getting hate like a year ago. There's this tipping point when something becomes popular too quickly. It starts becoming like cool to hate. Like Rick and Morty is a good example of that, or like Ninja. Like if something gets just too popular too fast and it's like the new big thing, which I was in Gwent for like the first year, because everyone used to love me. And then there's like a tipping point where it just becomes cool to hate you, I think. Which isn't to say that I don't take some responsibility. Like, I think there's been times in the past where I've phrased a few things kind of poorly. It's weird being a streamer because you have to be aware that everyone's gonna like twist your words and try to take them out of context. So you have to speak in a really, really different way than being just like a normal fucking human being, which kind of sucks. It's kind of dehumanizing, but it's also just like what you learn you have to do. Like, for example, there was at one point in time, I casually mentioned, like, it's crazy, because people in Gwent think I was shitting on Homecoming, which I basically never did. I spent, like, most of the time during the Homecoming PTR defending it against people that were saying it was bad, right? But I said it in a way that, like, developed a narrative that people thought I was, like, flaming Homecoming. Like, if you go back and watch the VODs, it's pretty obvious what I was saying, right? If you actually listen to my words. But
let's keep the good vibes flowing.
Yeah. That's that might be hard. Like it's just crazy. You have to speak very, very, very carefully. You can't just like have a normal conversation. As a university teacher, I'm aware of having to speak carefully to stop people from getting pissed. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's like public speaker role. This is intense. Is Tides... Oh, are they both winning? Oh, is Tides out? No, he's good. He's good. They're both alive still. I think most people from Gwent liked you, but some idiots just think you create cancer decks. I mean, to be fair to those idiots, I did create cancer decks way back in the day. I didn't actually really make relevant decks in Gwent in like the entirety of 2018. Like pretty much all my cancer decks were in 2017, like closed beta and early open beta. That's it, I think. Oh, he's still alive. They're both still in this. Holy shit. I mean, Muton is just not really looking for anything. Tides is looking for a level 2 Slardar. He's looking for a Slardar badly, but he can't find it. And he has this dream of this TA alive. I think, like, it's not a big deal. I would, if I was Tides, I would probably sell these 2 TAs right now and fish for the 3rd Slardar. Get it? Fish. Because that's, like, the only thing... I mean, the odds of this being the last game of the entire game are very, very high. And the level 2 Slardar actually has a chance of making a difference. Whereas, I mean, would you even put a 2nd TA in if you could? Yeah, there it is. Now, so they're running away from the hands right now. There's this little... Yeah, and it looks like Muton just wins. In the end of these games, you want to be as far away from the hands that come out and damage you as possible. Because it's actually a tiebreaker. Whoever's further away from the hands will... If the hands generate at the same time, whoever's further away will actually win. Because they'll die slower.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
The next Gorg.
Welcome back to the 1/8 gay, Vedex. What is Gork? Gorg C? Streamer? Why is it dead last player trying to give advice? I'm just pointing it out. I'm obviously not giving advice to Tides. Tides is a better player than me. We kind of low-rolled that game. That's just like one observation I'm making. The thing is, we're at the stage in the game where everyone is so new. Like even like the best players in the game, right? And this is, you can see this pattern with every single game. But when the game is so new and the best players are basically just like kind of the least bad in a way. Like everyone's gonna look back like 4 months from now and look back at like how bad everyone was in the first few weeks of the game. That's just like one. It's like incredibly minor optimization. Like, it almost has no chance of making a difference.